iPhone, laptop, or iPad, or download the NTA mobile application from your Play Store or App Store. NTA, you can beat the rich.
I never get this kind of thing, or I hear it.
This year has been quite awful, but due to the pandemic, which we all know about.
During the pandemic, from the month of March down to October, we weren't paying a dime in the school.
I got to know about Survivor Fund on social media. When I got to know about it, I related it with our director, which he affirmed that we should apply.
I didn't take interest in it at first. I thought government, all these forms that we are filling, no one is actually paying.
But once the money came in, I was so happy.
It was out 30,000 for each teacher, and it went a long way for the teacher.
I want to thank the federal government for having us in mind concerning this Survivor Fund initiative.
NTA News. When the news breaks, we mend it and present it without blemish. NTA News, authentic and authoritative.
Few days ago, the National Bureau of Statistics came up with a report on unemployment in the country. According to the report, 21.1 million Nigerians of active working age, that is 15 to 64 years, are without job. During the reference period, a combination of both the unemployment and the underemployment rate gave a figure of 56.1%. This is said to be the highest unemployment rate Nigeria has ever recorded. How did we get there? What are the factors responsible? And to what extent is our orientation, especially the education and vocation, contributing to this? This is our focus on Panorama for today from Ibadan Network Center of the Nigerian Television Authority. I am Adebola Oluwole Dada. President Muhammadu Buhari has congratulated the newly appointed Tanzanian President Samia Suluhu Hassan as she takes her place as the country's head of state following the sudden demise of President John Magufuli. In a message to the first ever female president of the country, President Buhari urged President Suluhu to unite the nation and lead the country in a good direction. The president expressed his desire to work with the new Tanzanian president to advance issues of common global interest. President Buhari is asking the Ministries of Women's Affairs and Justice to collaborate more effectively with the National Assembly towards securing a legal backing for the increased women participation in politics. In an ongoing constitutional and electoral process, this was while addressing members of the national and international working groups supporting the advancement of gender equality initiative during a courtesy visit. The president also lent his voice to amendments of his party's constitution to provide for effective and meaningful participation of women in elective offices. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
Nigeria is more than ever committed to join in raising the bar for women's representation at all levels.
describing women as a credible force in strengthening Nigeria's democracy, sustaining her socio-economic fabric, and promoting the culture of peace, President Muhammadu Buhari said his administration will not leave anything to chance in promoting women's inclusiveness in national development.
Given the size of our population, more can be done to improve the participation of Nigerian women in politics and in seeking elective office. Education of the girl child and the empowerment of mothers are fundamental to achieving an increase in the number of female leaders in the country and our objective of lifting 100 million out of poverty in 10 years.
He said whatever it takes can be done towards tackling the twin evils of limited access to education and poverty, as well as gender-based violence.
Despite the spike of incidents of abduction of school children and other security challenges, this government remains resolute in its pursuit of a just and credible society, devoid of inequalities and promotion of the rule of law. Let me assure you all that we remain committed to working with groups such as yours to address these challenges.
Already, the President said an interministerial committee has been inaugurated towards addressing all forms of violence against women and children, while 45% of the small and medium-scale enterprises funds has been reserved exclusively for women. President Buhari also takes pride in entrusting key government portfolios to women and also engaging in what he called intense diplomacy to support the aspirations of Nigerian women to provide leadership at the global stage.
We will continue to support them to succeed, and we shall continue to advocate our women who qualify to lead international fora.
APC chieftain and former Senate President Ken Namani said the governing party already has a legacy of giving women the greatest chance to rise in the history of the country, saying this will also improve the party's fortunes in elections.
We are not only women friendly, we're kind of encouraging our ladies to participate more in Nigerian politics.
I feel overwhelmed with joy. I feel elated on behalf of Nigerian women, and I believe that the more we have women in elective positions, the better for this country. I trust Mr. President, and I know that he will leave a legacy that will stand the test of time in this country on women issues.
We need more women in the system, and Mr. President has promised, and we will see a whole lot of difference once that happens.
We've waited long for this to happen, and we are delighted that we will move on to the level of actually bringing this to become reality.
Former President of the Republic of Malawi, Dr. Joyce Banda, delivered a goodwill message at the event commemorating the 2021 International Women's Day with the theme, Women in Leadership, Achieving an Equal Future in a Coronavirus World. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
What just reaching us indicates that accreditation and voting is in progress at the 5 wards of Ekiti East Constituency 1. Details will be brought to you in our subsequent bulletin. The leadership of the All Progressives Congress, APC, says the ongoing review of the party's constitution ahead of 2023 general elections is intended to reposition the party and reflect on the current trends and aspirations of the people who they say own the party. This formed part of the views expressed by the APC Southwest governors at the meeting on APC Constitution Review held in Abuja, the Ogun State capital. Yemi Dalimo reports.
The APC Constitution Review and Stakeholders Meeting in Ogun State afforded APC governors from the Southwest the opportunity to bear their minds about the ongoing Constitution Review, the exercise they describe as long overdue. They canvassed for the inclusion of internal democracy in the constitution for right candidates to emerge at the party's primary elections as opposed to imposition of candidates.
I believe that what our party has chosen to do at this point in time is a reflection of our deep democratic value.
Obvious lapses and grey areas that necessitated internal crisis and caused us electoral victory in some states and not needless political setbacks.
Assuming we choose to have indirect primaries who are delegates, so many other things that we believe are a bit ambiguous now. And we have said that the committee will look into it.
Former Ogun State Governor and national leaders of the party who play a major role in the drafted constitution under review said the 2014 APC constitution should be re-evaluated to meet the yearnings and aspirations of members.
Let us make internal democracy the cardinal principle of our party.
Also in attendance at the meeting was the chairman of the Constitution Review, Professor Tahir Maman, who promised to harmonize various submissions by the governors and other stakeholders to evolve a better and enduring constitution for the party. In Abuja, Yemi Dalemo, NTA News.
We now pause for a break. Panorama continues shortly.
The Council of Our Fathers.
I will urge and advise our younger generation to use talent and brain to sort out problems, not arms.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation.
My advice to these young people is please do not take us back to those harrowing days. You probably do not know what it is.
I believe we have fought one civil war too many in this country. So those who experience it will run away from it.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation together.
Welcome back. The ideas, inventions, and innovations showcased at this year's Technology and Innovation Expo are capable of transforming Nigeria's economy to a knowledgeable-based one. Minister of Science and Technology Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu said this at the closing ceremony of the Expo in Abuja. Adebola Brooklyn Sunday was there and now reports.
The 5-day expo was an opportunity for exhibitors from all parts of the country to showcase their ingenuity. Hydroponics, a system of growing plants usually without soil, capable of assisting in farmer headers' clashes, is one of the innovations on display.
If every state can have ranches, as you confine them, you provide, what they can actually use to feed on.
Because of COVID, Nigerians still carried out so much research. That means that our scientists and engineers, while they were in the lockdown, were not sleeping.
Ogbonnaya Onu said the federal government is rewarding the first, second and third winners in all the categories with 1 million naira, 750,000 naira and 500,000 naira, adding that the presidential directive of Special Fund for Research and Development in the country will go a long way in helping Nigeria create more wealth.
It is not for the Federal Ministry of Science and Technology, you must understand this. This is for the ecosystem. All our universities, our research institutions, our polytechnics, they will benefit from, that expenditure.
R&D is very, very important towards national development, and we will see more of it with the support that the president has given them now with this 0.5%.
The ministry is also putting in place a mechanism that will ensure that the research by inventors and innovators will not remain on the shelf.
Lay a solid infrastructure that will encourage venture capitalists, to begin to look at those such findings that they can fund for the purposes of, ensuring that they are utilized.
With the theme Science, Technology and Innovation for Economic Recovery and Sustainability amidst COVID-19 challenges, key players said the expo will help in building a new culture of science and technology in the country. Adebola Brooklyn Sunday, NTA News.
For technical and vocational education to have its desired impact on the socio-economic life of the country, stakeholders must channel teaching and learning towards functional education in all technical and vocational institutions. This is the focus of the report by Larry Bilei.
When 6334 education system was introduced in the country, part of the new academic syllabus then was the introduction of subjects such as introductory technology. The subject is aimed at introducing junior secondary school students to technical and vocational studies. Since then, the vocational and technical education has received a lot of attention to the highest academic level. Yet, technical and vocational studies remains at a crawling level. Why is this so?
Even in some universities now, when they want to take their laboratory for engineering and departments, they go and bring big equipment, which the student will not touch, and which they cannot maintain after some few years. So after some time, the student have not touched the equipment becomes obsolete.
It seems the day envisaged when vocational and technical education should hold sway are now here. What then must be done to take advantage of this?
Apart from acquiring formal education, they will still acquire vocational skills based on their own area of interest, so that they will be functional member of the society when they acquire that skill, instead of looking for the employment that is not there.
Experts say with government assistance on emphasizing technical and vocational education and its growing need among the people for their socio-economic survival, emphasis should now be placed on functional skill acquisition. In Ibadan, Larry Bilei, NTA News.
And that report from Larry Bilei's end brings us to the discussion for today. And with me in the studio today is Professor Kolapo Olushola Eleka, the former Deputy Governor of Ekiti State and one-time Registrar, Nigerian Institute of Building. You're welcome, sir.
Good afternoon,
Good
presenter.
afternoon.
Viewers at home, good afternoon.
What is your reaction to the unemployment figure released by the National Bureau of Statistics recently?
Well, it is not surprising, and though it is alarming, however, it is not surprising. When you take a look at the state of the economy in this country and our educational delivery system, there are bound to be instances of high rate of unemployment. I believe as we continue in this discussion, we are going to delve into certain basic factors that
you just
are
talked about our standard of teaching, standard of education. Can you just please elucidate more on that?
Well, currently in Nigeria, it appears our educational system is basically academic-based system rather than skill-based system. As long as we continue with academic-based system, which give preference to the display and craze for credentials, rather than skill-based training, which emphasizes application of vital skills at the workplace. If we continue in this direction, then definitely we are going to continue to produce graduates that are unemployable, because when you take a look at current issues, competition and technological changes, we need people that have actually acquired necessary skills to meet up with the 24th century.
Are you now saying that the theories being taught in the institutions are no longer relevant, or what are you saying?
The theories are there. However, when you take a look at some of the laboratories, the workshops, what you see over there is moribund infrastructures. Infrastructures that cannot, it's like using 19th and 20th century tools to solve the 21st century challenges. This is the challenge. Even the tutors, the instructors, the teachers in the various technical colleges are out of touch with modern tools, modern techniques of solving some of these problems. So until these issues are properly addressed, we continue to produce unemployable graduates in this country.
Well, I know you are an educationist, and to what extent do you now think that education can contribute to capacity building, especially in the area of self-reliance?
Education is, well, first of all, let me say this, that it is the right of every child
to be educated.
To be educated, not just being educated, to be given sound and quality education. And don't forget also that with education, knowledge can be conceived. So education simply is defined as acquisition of knowledge, skills, and attitude. Now, take note of those three words: knowledge, skills, and attitude. But something is missing in our system, right? And that is the word skills. We acquire knowledge. However, there is a challenge with getting the right skills today. So the only solution to all these challenges is through technical and vocational education and training. Without taking a holistic look at what education is all about, we will continue to miss it. Presently, the educational system within the country, I'm just listening to the Technology and Innovation Expo, just been concluded recently. That is a very good one. However, have we been able to cascade this thing down to the various local levels? How many of these have we been able to replicate in the rural communities? They are just there at the expo level and they remain there. So as long as we continue to track this particular part, we are going to continue to have challenges with the educational system.
Thank you very much. As a builder and a professor of building, you are a believer of vocational and technical skills. That is what we are still talking about. To what extent can this assist the nation at reducing unemployment rate? Because we discovered that everybody wants to see a CV carrying a university off. What do you think?
First of all, we need to change our value system and the way we think. There is a very poor public perception of graduates of technical colleges today in this country. But then I don't blame those who are that kind of perception, because one of the studies we conducted some years ago in Ekiti State showed that the graduates of technical colleges, when they finish from technical colleges, what you observe is that they either ended up riding Okada or doing some other jobs different from the training they have been given. But then you ask ourselves this question: when we take a look at the environment, where they have been trained, have they been properly trained? Have they been properly trained? So we believe that if we put education in its right place, students or participants can actually be led, right, to acquire practical skills and technical know-how,
and make themselves
that will allow them to have what we call gainful and self-reliant employment. So that's one of the purposes objectives of technical and vocational education and training. Especially when you look at the National Policy on Education, one of the aims is to acquire technical and vocational skills and then preparing them to meet up with the manpower requirement. And of course, it builds their capability, and they have this freedom of choice. They're able to lay their hands on something to do. Don't forget the Chinese proverb.
Thank you very much, sir. I think this is where we will be rounding off this segment. I've been talking and speaking with Professor Kolapo Olushola Eleka, the former Deputy Governor of Ekiti State and one-time registrar at Nigerian Institute of Building. He's been talking about vocational and technical training. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
We are still on Panorama on the NTA. We'll now take another break. We'll come back shortly.
The counsel of our fathers.
I will urge and advise our younger generation to use talent and brain to sort out problems, not arms.
Nigerian youths, Let's build our nation.
My advice to these young people is please do not take us back to those harrowing days. You probably do not know what it is.
I believe we have fought one civil war too many in this country. So those who experience it will run away from it.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation together.
One 130 new cases of COVID-19 have been confirmed as at 11 p.m. Friday, 19th March 2021, bringing the total number of cases to 161,539. The new cases of COVID-19 has breakdown as follows: Lagos 46, Ogun 19, Kwara 18, FCT 12, Kaduna 10, Ekiti has 6, Abia 5, Edo 3, Sokoto 3, Osun 3, Niger 2, Oyo 2, and Akwa Ibom 2. 147,591 cases have so far been successfully treated and discharged, while sadly the death toll is put at 2,027. Edo State government is to receive funds from the federal government for the hosting of the National Sports Festival, scheduled to begin on 3rd April 2021, but will be officially flagged off by President Muhammadu Buhari on the 6th of April 2021. Minister of Sports Sunday Dari disclosed this in a meeting with Governor Godwin Obaseki in Benin. Elizabeth Omoko reports on this, and the ministers on the sports assessment of major facilities for the fiesta.
Is in Edo State to reassure Nigerians of President Muhammadu Buhari's commitment to host the festival amidst the cost implications of the postponed dates.
The federal government is ready and willing to provide financial support. That April 2nd, the camp for the sports festival will open, and that on April 6th, the official opening of the festival by Mr. President will also take place.
For Governor Obaseki, the state government will give maximum support to the federal government in ensuring that the sports festival is successfully hosted.
We will go ahead working with you to prepare the venues to do all the things we need to do, not like athletes to come to Edo and we are not able to feed them 3 square meals while they are here.
At the Samagbamudia Stadium, the minister, alongside the governor, deputy governor, and members of the LOC, inspected the reconstructed facilities where all major events will take place.
What excites most athletes is the facility and the equipment. What we have here is comparable to anyone you can find in the world, global standard. And what we've seen here is a revamp that we've never seen before of a sporting facility in this country.
We are ready. The infrastructure is ready. The accommodation is ready.
Some athletes seen at the facilities were excited about the new developments.
You have the love and passion for sports. If you are woken up at midnight, you will retune and rearrange your thought process. The athletes are ready.
The assurance from the federal government to make funds available for the National Sports Festival, the countdown to the April 6th day begins. In Benin, Elizabeth Amaka, NTA News.
And that's it on Panorama from the Badon Network Center of the NTA. Thank you for joining us. I am Adebola Oluwolidada. Good afternoon.